Hello, thank you all for attending today's webinar. Welcome back to those of you that have been to the last couple. It's good to see you guys again. Just waiting on a couple people to trickle in, but as we do that, let's get started and just show you a couple things inside Dealer Center real quick. And so on the megaphone, again, I just want to remind everybody to click on that what's new. We often release things that we're doing to Dealer Center. Sometimes it's new integrations that we populate within our platform, but sometimes it's just updates. So there could be bug fixes, or there could be certain new features that we will talk about today with Facebook Marketplace. And so you can get to the word or any of the news first just by clicking on that, and you can learn all about it. We also have a team of people that do videos that can also explain, some of the new features that we launch as well. And so again, if you see those notifications at that megaphone at the very top, feel free to click on it. But let's go ahead and get started. And so today we're going to talk about just what your digital marketing strategy is. And so what does that even mean? What does it entail? I will basically run down all the different things that I think that you guys could be doing today, and then we can start to implement them and see whether or not they're working for you. And so I really like it on this end of it because it shows the end-to-end user experience. And so making sure that you're checking all the bases, but more importantly, is your website getting enough traffic? Are you doing something about your SEO? And then what is that experience that the customer feels when they see your business online, whether it be from a website or whether it be from a third-party marketing site, or whether it be from a classified ad or even your social media account? And so that's the experience that I would love to improve. That is where we're headed today. And I think that is going to speak volumes to what your dealership and your brand is around your area to help you guys sell more cars. So my name is Alex Resurrection. I am the AVP of Sales. We'll talk about, again, broadening your digital footprint, some of your best practices for your website today. What are traditional marketing, which you guys already know, between sites like cars.com, Car Gurus, Auto Trader, so on and so forth. But how you can implement things on social media. We know with Facebook or Meta, there's been so many changes over the last year. And so how can you take advantage of it? And only to remind you guys as well that the changes have mainly been to the dealership, right? And so the number of eyeballs, the customer experience has not changed for anybody on Facebook. Just how we post to them is basically what changes. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that we need to evade that strategy that we once had with Facebook Marketplace or business page postings. But also, looking at classified ads and looking at things like Craigslist or OfferUp, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But all this comes together mainly through your return on investment. And so no matter how much you're spending on all these marketing sites, are you making any money from it? And so we'll dive down a little bit deeper into what Dealer Center can show you in terms of your ability to market and what each site is giving you as a return on selling cars. Okay, so let's go through some quick stats. So very simple stuff. 95% of car shoppers start online. We all know this. And so this number is creeping up more and more. And because we know that, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to have a website. But more importantly, we have to be cognizant of the experience that the customer feels when they first visit your dealership online. Because remember, you are going to lose all the customers that don't view you or feel like they have a bad experience when they view your brand online. And so our job is to make sure that our brand is signifiable amongst any of the other people that you are competing against, but we want these customers to come to us. And so what is the best practice in making sure that we dominate that online shopping source? 33% of them start on a mobile device. This one, again, keeps creeping up, but it's also interesting because what you find online is going to be completely different. And so meaning that if I shop for a vehicle on my website or on a website, that experience is going to be completely different than your mobile. And so having a website that is mobile friendly, that is responsive as quickly as any desktop would be, that's what we have to work on your strategy as well. 65% more of consumers are utilizing video test drives. So again, sticking to that strategy of how you're merchandising your vehicles, having videos available for your vehicles. Again, these customers don't necessarily want to go directly to the dealership just yet. They want to spend 2 to 3 hours online first, deciding whether or not this is the car that I want, that I feel like is going to be for me, and then deciding on which business is going to take my experience in delivering a vehicle to me. And then 50% of car buyers want a better experience. And so I think that this is the stigma oftentimes with car dealerships. And so how do we change that? How do we make this a preferred experience? Is there even a more tailored way to do this? I think of CarMax immediately with their no haggle pricing. Maybe that's something that you can endure. Again, a lot of these customers, even millennials that are speaking to this, is that they would be willing to pay additional if they had a preferred way to do business. And so again, I think of CarMax, I think of Carvana, but these are all things that you guys have access to do today. And so let's talk about it. And then before I get into there, I just want to mention that this video or this webinar will be recorded and sent out. I see one message that it says that you can't hear me, but I see my audio is on correctly. So maybe log back out and log back in. But this will be recorded. So if you miss anything, feel free to watch it. Again, or if there's anybody at the dealership that needs to hear this or see this, then please share it with them. It'll be sent out to you guys in a couple days. All right, so let's dive into what exactly entails in digital marketing. So what is the suite of solutions that you can do today? So when I think of your digital marketing strategy, here are all the components that make up of it. Do you have a website? Is that website generating enough traffic? Is your SEO pretty good from that traffic? We all have websites today. I believe it's 2023, and so a lot of times, if you don't have a website at this point, you definitely contact somebody. I think that is a given. And then what else aside from websites is we have traditional marketing. These are the sites that you guys know very well that spend lots of money on Super Bowl ads and commercials. You got AutoTrader, Cars.com, you have Car Gurus, you have so many other places. That is what we call traditional marketing, right? So that's been around a while. We all know how we implement that, but is it gaining traction for you that's generating enough business? But the other things that we leave out through here that is still part of our digital marketing strategy is going to be classified ads, right? We once upon a time paid a lot of money, or we posted on Craigslist for free. Now they started charging. A lot of dealers have left that realm and don't want to pay the $5 per ad on Craigslist. But again, as I mentioned, a lot of dealers escaped, but the customers' eyeballs did not. And so are you still utilizing classified ads like that, or even things like OfferUp, which is the new Craigslist, right? And Facebook Marketplace for that matter. You have social media as well. What does your brand look like on your Facebook business page? Do you guys have a lot of likes? Are people generating reviews? Are there anything about a customer experience when you guys are posting on your social media? And do you even have your inventory that's posted on your social media? So these are things, again, that create more reinforcement for your guys' brand. And then the last two things is Google campaigns. That is becoming a very big one these days. If you don't have a Google My Business page, I will show you what that looks like. That is very key. What's important about that is that if a customer were to Google you, you will have your own business card, or what we call a Google My Business, or just ID card on the far right of the page. That would show things like your hours of your operation, your phone number. It'll also have a link or just display your inventory as well. So customers can actually Google you and then find your inventory directly on Google's hosted page. And so that's something that is brand new that I'll talk about as well. But we also know ad campaigns can be very successful with Google. This is what franchise dealers are paying a lot of money for. And this, in my opinion, has gained a lot more traction. You see franchises dominate this realm, but it's really not that difficult for you to show up in these Google ads as well. And I'll show you how to do that. And then last but not least is going to be your email and text campaign. So this is free. This is directly from what your customer base already is. And you can cycle back from previous customers or customers that didn't buy from you. But this is for you to notify your customers via email or text, hey, I have a sale going on. There's a Black Friday sale. There's a Memorial Day sale. Or what's even better is that we know that some customers have bought a car from you maybe 3 years ago. And if they have bought a car from you 3 years ago and they're still paying for that loan, we know at that mark, they probably generated enough equity in that vehicle for you to maybe sell them a new car today. And so what does that sound like? Hey, Mr. Customer, come in today. I know that you bought a car from us 3 years ago, but we can upgrade you, 0 down payment, and you'll keep the same monthly payment. Is that something that you're interested in? And so doing campaigns like that is the most underutilized way for you guys to do digital marketing that's completely free. And the other thing that goes back into this, that closes the loop, is going to be your reputation management. And so this means reviews. This means Ascertaining reviews from Google, getting Facebook page likes, getting Facebook page comments. If there's Yelp, if there's anything else that you can do, your reputation is your brand among your community that you need to reinforce every single time. When they think of that, I want to buy a vehicle, they should be thinking of going to you. And so despite the stigma that, hey, I don't want that customer to leave us a review because if they contact us, well, then they're going to want something, right? Well, then why don't we send it early? Why don't we basically say that once that car is done, why don't you let them review it one day after? This is going to create a lot more reinforcement to your brand. But again, these customers, these potential customers are looking at these reviews and they're going to come back. You're going to create more opportunity if you have a lot of reviews that create a staple for your guys' business. And we'll talk about that in a bit as well. So let's dive into what your website should actually look like. And then I put a pro tip on here just in case, but I'll talk about this on the next slide. But it's no matter where you're getting a prospect or a lead from, whether it be from social media or whether it be from your website or traditional marketing, when that customer calls or when you call that customer, you always want to make sure that you touch all these facets. And so you want them to visit your website. You want them to go to your Facebook page and like your page. Make that a habit as you're dealing with all these customers through there. So not a lot to talk about with the website portion of it. Obviously we do websites, everybody does websites. The only thing that is a misconception for a lot of dealers that I speak with is that they tell me all the time that, hey, my website is already SEO optimized. And that's just not true. And so every website, including ours, including all of our competitors, yes, we are optimized for SEO, but the process to do SEO, which is search engine optimization, which leads to more traffic and organic lead search for your guys' website, the process for that is challenging. It's actually a daily thing that you need to update all the time, meaning that these keywords that people are searching for, it needs to not be generic. You can't just say used cars Los Angeles. That's not going to come up. If you're specializing in lifted trucks, then we have to create an SEO strategy around lifted trucks. If you're specializing in sedans or first-time owners or first-time car buyers or college students, whatever it might be, that strategy needs to be tailored around there. And so unless you're updating the meta tags, you are not being searchable or you're not being found on any of these Google ratings. So how this will help you or what you can do is that we have a team that can do the SEO for you. It's a set it and forget it. Again, that kind of takes time. But one of the things that I always recommend to the dealers is that you have to drive the traffic yourself, meaning going back to what I just said on the last slide, if a customer calls in or you call into the customer, one of the first things you should talk about is, hey, why don't you visit my website? Take a look at what we do, what the experience is going to be like. Also, this is the vehicle that you're interested in. I have about 5 others that look similar to this or are very similar to this. Would you be interested in any of these other ones? And then as you're doing that process, you are actually creating more traffic already to your guys' website. That is going to improve your SEO or your searchability the fastest, faster than anything can make it happen. And so again, putting that part of the process is going to be extremely important. One of the other important things that you want to do for your website is you want to make sure that the customer or the prospect or the person that is using the computer to visit your website is staying on your website longer. And so there's a thing called bounce rate that Google does not like, meaning that if I go to your website, I check out a car, and then I close out the tab, well, that is going to impact your bounce rate. That's going to be a bad bounce rate. And you want to make sure that the customers are sticking to your website as long as possible. So how do we do that? It's as simple as making sure that you have photos for every vehicle. I can't stress this enough how many dealers I look at, and some vehicles have 30 photos, and then the next vehicle next to it will have 0 photos. How is anybody supposed to spend time on your website if you do not have any of those photos? And so doing things that create more action from that customer, things like you can see on this page specifically, there are a bunch of different what we call just ways to merchandise your website, right? And so we call these badgings. So if you have car gurus today and this vehicle is a great deal or it's a good deal and you want to advertise that, absolutely advertise that, right? These are things that customers can click. It'll go to car gurus, but nonetheless, they are spending more time on your website. Other things that you can add is a vehicle history report. So an auto check report or a Carfax report, let them look through that, create that transparency, create that peace of mind for customers to buy from you. You can do inventory videos. You can do a 360 spin car. And so if you wanted to get a 360 look of that vehicle inside and out, that is available for you guys to merchandise with. And so all these things, again, create way more time on your vehicle listing page or your vehicle detail page. Even things like the payment teaser for deal driver, down payments. We have a Carcat condition report. I would try to merchandise or badge as much as you can. And these are all the different types of features that you can do it with. And so if you don't see this on your website and you feel like this is going to help you, then please reach out to us. I think that that is the first step in your guys' improvement of getting more traffic or just getting ranked better for SEO through Google. So moving aside from the website, this is what I know lots of people want to hear is going to be, well, what's up with Meta? What's up with Facebook? And so how does it impact us? What can we do about it? And so there are 3 different ways to advertise on Facebook, in my opinion. And so if you receive this on January 30th, basically Facebook just said they no longer support the ability for sellers to create vehicles and real estates from their business page. And so that doesn't change too much. It's basically just saying that a business itself can't post automatically through some of these avenues. But I'll show you what they can do. And so a lot of the things that, despite this message, still exist today, and I want to show you how that works. And so the first one is going to be Facebook Marketplace. And so again, all these old automated tools that allowed you to just, post as freely as you want is going away through Facebook, right? And so they're creating some limitations through that to be able to post on Facebook Marketplace. We still have a tool that is available to do this. It is obviously governed and made sure that it is compliant so that it doesn't spam the entire marketplace. The reason why Facebook, I assume, is doing this is similar to what Craigslist did before, is that you would have bots posting 100 vehicles every single hour, and it was just clouding up the marketplace, right? And so through this tool that we have available in DealerCenter, we have what we call, it's our marketplace inventory posting tool. And this will allow you to post up to 10 vehicles per day. And so if you have our online ad post premium with us, you will have access to be able to do this today. But the only difference is that once they respond, if a customer is looking for you and chats with you via, Facebook Marketplace, you're going to have to respond to them via Facebook Messenger chat in the Facebook app itself. So we are going to work on being able to bring that into DealerCenter. You'll be able to chat with them through other mechanisms, just not the marketplace. So this is what the tool looks like, right? And so through here, and I apologize about the noise, there's some construction going on in the office behind me. But through this marketplace posting tool, let me show you inside DealerCenter where this is at. So anytime you go into the inventory list, there is going to be a different view in here. So feel free to follow along and check it out. But under your inventory reports, there's a thing called Facebook Marketplace. And this is going to bring you to a new tab, which you're going to find at the top right is the ability to download this tool. Now, it is an external tool that Facebook or that DealerCenter has that you're going to have to download to your computer. And so this isn't going to run directly from DealerCenter. It's going to run basically as a desktop app on your computer. So let me load that for a second. Let me bring it back to Facebook Marketplace. And this is what it looks like, right? So you'll be able to see all the new postings that you've posted directly to your marketplace. And so this tool is going to be located at the very top right. So all of you guys will have this if you have our online ad post premium. All you have to do is click on it. This is going to ask you to download this tool, and you're going to follow the directions until you get the ability to download this app. Now, what this looks like is it's going to come up like this. It's going to be an icon that says DealerCenter at the very top. And bringing this back up real quick, what's going to happen is, let me bring up DealerCenter and then bring up this and make sure we're logged in. So once you log in with your DealerCenter credentials, you'll get greeted with this little new window that is the tool that we're going to use to post. And it's just as simple as clicking on Start Post and selecting the vehicles that you want. So right now I have over 10, so it's not going to allow me to do it. But let's say I wanted to post to these two. I can click on Start Posting, And this will take me about 5 to 6 minutes, depending on how quickly it is. Most of what you need to do prior to doing this is just make sure that your Facebook is connected to DealerCenter. So you'll be prompted in the settings. Your DealerCenter rep can help you out through this as well. But in your settings, you just got to make sure that you log into your Facebook business page, and then this will post directly for you. Now, again, you can only select up to 10 vehicles, but whatever you select, you just click on start posting and is automatically over there. Now, there's a couple other tabs in here that I just want to show you. For update means that maybe you change the price, maybe you change something about the features of the vehicle. And so it will notify you in here that, hey, if you updated the price, do you want to update the posting? And so you can click on that and have it repost through there. And it's pretty simple. So there isn't really much other than that. You'll be able to check through your DealerCenter report here which ones are posted. And there'll be a link so that way you can direct yourself to Facebook Marketplace to see what that looks like. But pretty simple tool. And so this was created by us. Again, if you have online ad post premium, all you got to do is just go to this report in Facebook Marketplace, download this launch auto posting utility, and you should be good from there. Before I get to the next step, I just want to show what's under the settings under Facebook here as well. So whenever you get to your settings, this is where you're going to handle most of the things that are Facebook related, and even Craigslist for that matter. But I can go over to my inventory, and I would like to click on online marketing. And then you can click on manage Facebook. And so this is essentially where you can set up your business page, or just make sure you have the right account information within your Facebook account. But other than that, once you see green, it means that you have the ability to do all of it. And so if it has red, that means it's not finished, that you have to update some information before you can start using this piece of it. So Marketplace will look something like this. We'll show you, there's a video that's going to be in here, so that way you can see how it works, or you can just get a quick snippet of how you can make that run. Other things that you can do as well is going to be a Facebook business page post. And so let's show it to you inside of here first. And so in here, basically, if you get to that same Facebook tab under business page post, you can create whatever template that you want. You can customize this, but this is going to post directly on your Facebook page. So why do we do that? Well, maybe we want to advertise new cars that you just got in inventory. Maybe you just want to showcase some of the new cars that might be for this upcoming summer, or hey, if you're planning a summer vacation and you need this vehicle, why don't you take a look at this? And so however you want to slice it and dice it, this gives you the ability to, again, just have a quick way to start adding content to your guys' Facebook page. And that's what we want. We want you to be consistent with your guys' brand. You can't just post 3 times in one day and then skip 1 week. You want to be consistent. You want to continue to put your name, your logo, your brand in front of the eyeballs of all the customers that are on Facebook. So let's remember, Facebook is the #1 most visited site in the nation. And so you have to imagine, there's a lot of subliminal messages that are going to go on, and you want to make sure that you're plugging your customers in with potential vehicles. And so if you want to post there, that's the Facebook business page. The other part is the catalog. And so I just want to show you a site from Drive in Motion. And so what Facebook actually shut off is going to be this inventory tab that you used to have here. And so if I were to click on this, it is going to bring me to a broken page. But what they did not remove is the ability to still post on the other end of the inventory. So I'll show you that in just a second. So this used to be like a secondary website. This would show all the vehicles that you had in inventory, and you'd be able to automatically post through there. So that is completely gone. However, there's another place that it's at. And so under, let's see, used to be there. Give me 1 second. Oh, maybe they did remove that. So that was the part that I was most interested in. So as you can tell, that is gone. And even in this PowerPoint, I told you they may or may not go away with this meta update. So usually there is this vehicle tab as well. So there's two places that you'll find your inventory. So this is the place that I imagine that Meta is removing. And so you won't have access to post it on your guys' website or like have a secondary website or post vehicles on this page. So that tab is looking like it's no longer existing. So I'll skip on that for now. And let's dive into what you can do through Facebook and even Google Ads. So we have an integration with a company called AutoSweet. You know, again, Facebook, you can use Marketplace, you can use business page postings, but another successful way that we found that dealers have been getting a lot of leads is going to be directly into the news feed. And so with AutoSweet, you have the ability to post your vehicles on the news feed. And so this is going on the timeline that everybody's seeing, not just on your business page. And this is creating ads on Facebook and on Instagram. And so you can see in this rolling image is that as you go through or customer scroll, almost every 10 posts create one ad, right? And so that ad will essentially populate. That'll be your business along with vehicles that you're selling. There's two different ways to do this. And so you can create a campaign that is going to direct you more leads and more customers, or you can do a campaign that's going to direct you more traffic. And so why are the two different? Well, traffic is going to lead you directly to your website. And I do recommend this every once in a while for customers that have or for dealerships that have a website that just don't get a lot of traction or a lot of customers. Again, how you build SEO, this is one of the versions of it. We want to drive a lot more organic leads to you, so that way your website performs well and you can get a lot more traffic from your customers and organic search. And so if you don't care about that and you just wanted leads, this is the type of ad that you'll see. What's cool about this is that we are going to collect as much information before they even send it to you. And so these are more qualified leads. Part of the stigma of using social media as a lead source is that, well, the customer doesn't really know who we are, so they tend to put fake information. There's a fake phone number, there's a fake email, and we don't know whether or not they're ready to buy. And plus, they always lowball us, right? And so we're trying to take that portion of it away. I can't stop the lowballers because that's just what people do, especially on ads like this, but their eyeballs are going to here and they are looking for vehicles on these sites like Facebook. What we do is we try to qualify the lead a little bit better. So we ask for, what's the best way to contact you? Do you have a vehicle for trade? And so you can see all the questions that are listed right here that we ask them before we create a lead in your account. Now, the greatest thing about Facebook is that we already know the name, we already know the email and the phone number because they have a Facebook account. So that's why we know we can verify who these people are. Now, asking the rest of the questions is just to make sure that you guys get a qualified lead. And when these leads come in, they're coming directly into DealerCenter. So that way you can engage and you can work them and you can make sure that they visit your website, like your business page, but also sell a car to them. What AutoSweet also does is going to be transitioning into Google. And so again, very seldomly used. Google does cost a little bit more, but it is the starting point for any search that anybody goes through. And I can't stress that enough. That, typically people don't even put in website URLs anymore. So cars.com is the only exception, but I think usually when I type into the URL box, I type AutoTrader and then I use Google to click on autotrader.com. And so that's become the staple. But before you get to that, there's so many things that Google does. And so when I talked about Google My Business, the far left image is what it looks like, right? So we're going to help you create this contact card that's on the right side. This will show your Google reviews, which are very, very important, right? Like this is what people look at when they Google you. If you were to buy something on Amazon, the first thing you do is check the reviews. And so why wouldn't anybody do it for any other instance, right? When they want to buy a car or have an experience, like this is the second largest purchase that they're ever going to make in their life. And so they want to make sure that they're going to have a good experience. Other things that we're going to manage through this is making sure that your photos look good and what it looks like outside. So that can be very important because anybody can update that. But there's also a Q&A that we can add. So if there's anything about the experience that the customer is going to feel or what types of vehicles that you carry, this is a way for you to tell each customer that Googles you what goes on with your dealership. And then one of my favorite ones, but again, can get pricey, but in my opinion, this is where it all kind of starts. And so if you notice anytime you Google something, let's say I wanted a pair of Nikes or Jordans or whatever it might be, what I get greeted with at the very top right under my search bar is going to be ads. And so that is where a lot of the shopping happens. and you'll have the ability to use or sell ads through this as well. And so you can post vehicles that you're selling. Again, this is what a lot of the franchise dealers are paying for, and it's not very challenging to beat them or get visibility over them, which is very challenging to do, just with the website alone. So those are all different things that you can do. So just showing to you what that looks like for Google. Again, they also have a website. So down below, when you click on this, so this is your contact card, you can notice that here are the cars that you have for sale. So that's why, again, the same thing that Facebook had before is this becomes a secondary website for you guys to use or utilize to hopefully generate more leads. And that Google My Business part of it, or that posting your vehicles on Google, is completely free through DealerCenter. And again, AutoSweet can help you guys manage that as well. So here's what it looks like just when you have your presence up on Google. Here's one dealer, Moto Boutique, who has done pretty well with AutoSweet and what they've been able to do. And so you can see at the very beginning, they kind of started all red and not showing at all in a lot of different places or demographics around that area. As you can see over time in a six week period, this is where their search results came up as. Again, that's how you drive SEO. All these leads go directly to your website. So that's the most important thing that I want you guys to recognize as well, is that why we do a lot of the marketing is to drive more traffic to your website. And I can't stress that enough. If you go on cars.com or autotrader.com, all of those places, they are hosting your inventory on their website. So the only people that are creating traffic, they are basically buying you, or you are paying for people to go on their site. And it's a complete reverse way to do things, right? And so they are building their SEO because your customers are going to them before you, right? And so using avenues like social media, implementing it into your sales process, but also using Google, that's what's going to help you rank. So that way, when they do search something as generic as used cars in Los Angeles, that's where you show up, right? Rather than being very specific, only Googling Moto Boutique. And so again, this isn't something that happens overnight, but this is something that you would have to do time and time again with consistency for you guys to be shown, and making sure that you're taking advantage of all the digital marketing strategy. And then moving on to Craigslist, again, some people still do this, some people don't. I encourage everyone to try something. Again, I'm not asking anybody to spend more money on marketing or for whatever it might be. I'm asking you to analyze your current marketing budget and allocate to places that you think are going to work. And the only way that you're going to know if it's going to work is if you try it out, right? And so if your marketing budget every single month is $2,500 because you pay $500 to Car Gurus, $500 to cars.com, $200 to here, map out what those expenses are and try to figure out how many leads that you're getting from them. But I think that all these different places, it's worth making sure that, hey, maybe your customer demographic matches this better. If you have reps from cars.com or AutoTrader, if you have a rep that you can talk to, ask them about your customer demographic. Hey, what type of demographic am I getting? Does this match my business? Are these high FICO people, low FICO people? Am I getting more clicks on specific vehicles? Does that match the inventory that I have? Ask them what that demographic is and how that plays into your guys' business strategy. Don't just cough up money because you're getting leads. Like, let's look at the conversion rate to make sure that these customers are actually making sense. And so if you decide to go through Craigslist, we have an easier way. Part of the problem is nobody wants to post something really long. We have a way to schedule this. And so as you can see on the screen, I want to post at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I want to post specifically at certain times. So all you got to do is buy the ads, click on put the green check mark to show how many vehicles that you want and at what time you want to post it. And that is very key. So again, I would play around with your schedule in terms of when you think customers are looking at it. I can certainly make sure that no one's shopping for a car at midnight or 2 a.m. And so posting a vehicle at times like that is not going to do you any justice. And so that's why things like this scheduler exist, is that it stays at the very top of the list in chronological order for when the customers are actually visiting the website. And so you can see here, I'm shooting for times like at 10 a.m. I'm shooting for times like at 5 p.m. when they get off of work, but they're not making dinner yet. Again, this is for you to kind of find out and analyze what works best for you. Last piece on here is going to be OfferUp, or not last piece, but just some classified ads. OfferUp is, if you haven't heard of it before, I believe it's the top shopping app in the entire nation. So, most people know it for buying used golf clubs or used couches or all of things that I've bought before. But a lot of people are also turning to this to buy vehicles. And so a lot of dealers are currently using OfferUp to sell vehicles to customer. It's a way different experience, but it's very similar to Craigslist. We have a chat integration. So once you set it on OfferUp, basically we are going to push it over to your DC mobile app, or just DC in general. There's a chat function that you'll be able to chat directly from DealerCenter. But again, you have the ability to showcase all your inventory. You can target, certain leads and demographics. And so if you have a strategy like buy here, pay here, and you don't want to show pricing, because we're going to work off a monthly payment, that is something that we can help you do. But this is way different than posting it manually. We will post it for you, but we will also create promoted placements, meaning that these ads are going to get 14 times more than any of the other traffic that you do if you were to post it manually. And that's because every time you scroll, your ad is going to be near the top. And one of the cool things that I'm just going to mention about OfferUp is you can signal, or OfferUp will signify when that customer is ready to buy. So you can see in the right image that little lightning bolt for ready to buy. And how it knows this is that if this customer or if this prospect is on OfferUp and he's messaging multiple people or he's looking at multiple vehicles, we know that that person is pretty ready to buy. And so we'll tag them with this so you can see it. And obviously we think these are hot leads, and therefore we should, manage with a lot of care and make sure that we are focused on getting that customer to buy a vehicle from us. And then lastly, that is kind of the summation of all the things that you can do marketing wise. But as I mentioned, you need to figure out exactly what is doing well. And it's not one of these things that I'm going to tell anybody to increase their marketing budget from 2,500 to 3,000 or 3,500. It's more so keep that marketing budget and let's allocate it to the places that work best. And if you don't know what's happening at your dealership, then I think you are doing yourself a disservice. And so we have this report that's located inside DealerCenter today. It's called the ROI report, and I'll just show it to you live through here. But inside DealerCenter, you can go to any dashboard or any report. But once you just need to find yourself in the CRM dashboard and click over onto ROI. And what this is going to show you is that we know, because all your leads are going to funnel through DealerCenter, is that here are all the marketing sites that I have. Here's my website. I also use Deal Driver, CarZing, TrueCar, Credit Karma. The list can go on, right? Cars.com, CarGurus, whatever you want it to show. And through this is that every time I receive a lead, it can count it. And then from that lead, how many appointments did they schedule? How many appointments did we keep that were scheduled? How many did we convert this month? And last month, what's our conversion rate? But I know that all you have to do is upload your marketing costs for this, for whatever venture it is. And I hope it doesn't look like this, right? Like I hope you're not spending $10,000 on your website or $12,000 on Deal Driver, but it might be 500 here, 1,000 here, so on and so forth. Now, if you put that marketing cost in there, this will tell me what that cost per lead is, because I can take this number divided by how much I spent, and that will give me my cost per lead, right? And then more importantly, for every converted lead and how much gross I made from that vehicle, it can tell me, here's my gross from all these leads that came from this site, and my ROI is going to be my gross divided by my marketing cost, right? And so that is going to show you which ones are doing well. Now, in any case, I'm okay with increasing your marketing budget. Let's take a look at Credit Karma right here. And what it shows me is that, hey, this is the lowest of all the different marketing sites that I have because my ROI is only 20%. But at the same time, that ROI is a positive figure. Like I would be willing to spend, $3,000 if I were to make another, 20% of that would be about $1,000 more, right? And so as long as I'm positive through here, that is great. But if you're a dealership that maybe should be concerned about their marketing budget, they can't just increase it or decrease it whenever they say it. Well, then that's what this report is for, because we know that here are the things that are driving business to me. I know that the website and Deal Driver are performing very well. And so therefore, I would love to reallocate my money or more of my marketing budget to those initiatives as opposed to places like Credit Karma or TrueCar or whatever it might be. Now, every dealership is going to be different. And so that's up to you to ensure that you are making sure that these marketing sites match your customer demographic, but you're paying attention to it. And so other than that, the last piece to close the loop is your reputation. And so we showed you with Google, this is one thing that DealerCenter focuses on a lot. And because of these reviews, we've earned a lot of business from a lot of new dealers because they've seen our reviews. And the same thing can happen to you guys. And that stigma needs to go away, right? Like I don't want that customer to call me because they're going to tell me what's wrong with the vehicle. Now we don't necessarily need to do that. And so we have a tool to help you through this with AutoSweet, is that when a customer is done buying that car, all you got to do is send them a thank you email. And you say, hey, thank you so much for purchasing this vehicle. We hope that you enjoy it so far. And then we're just going to ask them a yes or no question. Like, were you satisfied or were you not satisfied? And if they were satisfied, we're going to help you solicit a review. So it's going to say, great, well, and here's the next step. Can you leave us a review on Google or Facebook and Facebook, right? If they're not satisfied, what we're going to do is intercept that bad review. Instead of showing them to leave us a review on Google or Facebook, we're going to allow them to say why they were not satisfied. So they have the ability to basically tell us what happened, and we can rectify the situation before it gets to Facebook or Google. So we won't even show them the review process if they were unsatisfied with this purchase. And so that's how we can control and taper these reviews. But these reviews are super important to your guys' business. Like these people are looking for some type of experience that they're willing to give you their business if they feel like others have felt the way that they felt before. And so don't stop at this. Don't be afraid of the reviews. I would recommend doing this every single time, right? So if you are selling 10 cars a month, I should expect 30 reviews in the next 3 months. Something that I would love to continue for you guys to do. And then just bringing it back to here. So again, what did we talk about? We have website traffic, traditional marketing, classified ads, social media, Google campaigns, email text campaigns, and then reputation management to kind of flow back and forth. And so that's what's available. A lot of dealers that I talk to only take advantage of the first two. And oftentimes they don't recognize what's available to them. Again, I'm the type that as long as there's positive ROI, I'm willing to take a look at it. And hopefully it bears fruit. But more importantly, this was going to tell you as much as you need to know about your customer demographic. Like, what are the type of customers that are going to be here? How are they looking for me? And making sure that you have the money in the right places for that. If you're doing all of it, more power to you, because that builds your brand. Your logo is literally over everywhere. That is every modality of digital marketing that you are putting your logo and making sure that you're becoming a staple in your community. And then last but not least, obviously use that ROI report. You need to decipher what channels are yielding the most fruit for you guys. And so the only way to figure that out is to quantify it. And if you're not quantifying it, I'm showing you that there is a way to do that. And that's it. That's kind of all I have through there. Again, it's an open webinar. It's recorded. Obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box and I can go through any of it all over again. Or if you have generic questions, I'm happy to respond to you guys as well. But nonetheless, I thank you guys for attending. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions about this, please reach out to your rep or just email sales@dealercenter.com. I know a lot of you joined this for Facebook Marketplace, and that as a webinar, I'm more than happy to help you guys out with that. So just reach out to sales@dealercenter.com. I will help you post that launch, that auto posting tool, and then I'll show you guys how it actually works, and then we can make sure that we get a couple of your cars listed today. And so again, just email me at sales@dealercenter.com. We'll reach out to you today, and we will get everything set up for you guys' Facebook posting. I logged in late. Is there a recording? Absolutely. So this entire thing will be recorded. We'll send it out in about 24 to 48 hours. If you feel like it's urgent and you can't wait until we send it out, I'm more than happy to talk to anybody or just one of your reps. So just reach out to us at sales@dealercenter.com. I'm happy to go over any of the presentation as it relates to what more can I do with traditional marketing? How can I build SEO in my website? What can I do to generate more traffic? Is classified ads still a good thing for me, whether it be from Craigslist or OfferUp? How can I build my social media presence? How do I run a Google campaign? How do I run an email or a text campaign? Or how do I improve my reputation management? I will happily answer any of those. Feel free to reach out to me at sales@dealercenter.com, or again, listen to the recording once it comes out in a couple days. Question on here is, how do we add an automatic chat box on our Facebook page? That I do not know. So that will not come as a plugin from Dealer Center. That will be directly from Facebook. I know that chat box appears when you're on Marketplace, when you're looking at a vehicle. And I think it also appears when you're on the business page. If it's not there, maybe reach out to your rep and we can take a look at it, or reach out to sales@dealercenter.com and we can take a look at it. But from every place on Facebook that there's a chat with your guys' dealership, that is going to flow through Dealer Center. So you can chat through Dealer Center as well. So you don't have to go back and forth through Facebook. The only integration that we don't have right now is that Marketplace. So if they chat through Marketplace, just make sure that you are looking out on your Facebook Messenger to respond to any text request. Well, cool. I will leave it at that. Happy to answer any questions. Don't be shy to reach out to me, and we will see you guys on the next one. Take care, and we'll see you soon.